Welcome, soulmates, to this beautiful illustration of the sleeve. Welcome to the Honest Academy. So we're going to be learning how to make this. Now, for us to start, we need our basic sleeve. I believe we all know how to draft our basic sleeve. In case you do not know how to draft your basic sleeve, we have a tutorial on how to draft the basic sleeve. Now we're going to take the length of the sleeve, which is around or towards the elbow line, okay? Towards the elbow line, your basic sleeve measurement. So we have the basic sleeve measurement, and then we have the our fabric for the sleeve. Now, looking at the picture of what we're trying to recreate, we can see that the base of the sleeve is quite wide, like the sleeve is not a fitted one. Now it is left for you to decide how much wideness you want for the sleeve. For in this case, I'm going to be using the amount of fabric that I have, which is about 4 inches extra by the side. Okay, 4 inches extra by the side. Like I said before, it depends on how much wideness you want for the sleeve. This is about 4 inches, and remember that this part of the sleeve is going to be on fold. It shouldn't be open. No matter the wideness, it shouldn't be open. Now at the top part, we're keeping an allowance of 3 inches, and this will make it possible for us to have something like a puff on the sleeve. As you can see in the picture, it has to puff so that it fits properly, it relaxes well, okay, and it gives it the beauty that it has. So leaving 3 inches above, 4 inches by the side, depending on the wideness. If you choose to make it wider, you can add up to 5 or 6 inches, right? So what we're going to do now is to pin them together so that it doesn't shift or it doesn't move as we take the markings. Like we use our chalk to connect the puff area to the main sleeve. Okay, I hope you're following. In case you've not subscribed to this channel, please kindly do so. So you can see the way I'm going to be connecting this. This is more like a freehand. If you want to pattern it, you can actually use your pattern paper, which is going to be drafted on complete, okay, so that you open it up and do the widening on the paper before transferring to fabric. But for here, I'm just using my hand, my free hand, to connect the lines together. So you can see that the fabric or the sleeve is becoming quite bigger than what we usually have. You can actually do this directly on your fabric without the basic sleeve. Just make it as wide as you want, following this pattern. Okay, so I'm always referring to the picture so that you understand exactly what you want to do, right? So what we're doing here is that the sleeve is not complete the way it should be. Some parts is cut off, and we're going to be taking half of the sleeve to cut it off, half of the basic sleeve. You can choose to make it longer, right? You can choose to come up more to cut this part out. You can choose to do it half of the sleeve. It depends on how you want it, but looking at the picture, it should be something divided into two so that the opening will be well seen. It is well noticed that it is cut in half. So still going to raise this up because to me now it's looking very low. So I'm still going to, you can see I raised it up a bit, so you too can decide to do the same thing, right? And you cut it towards the armhole. The armhole is the part that will be open, like you're going to stitch it, and that is the part that will be longer, while the front part of the sleeve is going to be shorter. So I don't just want my scissors to cut the paper because it's going to make it more blunt, even though the scissors is already blunt. I don't want to kill it the more. So I've cut that away, right? I'm going to unpin the paper and then we'll proceed to cutting the other parts and do the other things that we're supposed to do. So like I said before, if you've not subscribed, please kindly do so. Now see the shape that we have on this. Look at the shape that we have. So the next thing, to give it the structure on the main fabric, I'm going to iron stay on it, a kind of thick stay. Now the white thing is peplum stay. I wouldn't advise to use the hardest one. If it gets into the armhole, you're not going to be comfortable. And I wouldn't want to iron this peplum stay on the main fabric. It's going to make it look somehow. Also in this sleeve, we're going to be having horsehair, which is a crinoline, right? We want it to stand very well. So the first thing is to iron our esther to the main fabric. Of course, you're going to have lining on this sleeve, but the esther is going to be on the main fabric to give it a very nice texture, a soft texture, looking so nice, right? Use quality esther. Okay, so this is what I have for the main fabric, and I'm going to cut the lining so that I'll iron the peplum stay on the lining and then sew together with the crinoline at the edge, at the base. I hope you understand. I hope you're following the procedure, and I hope you subscribe to this channel. If it's making sense to you, please kindly subscribe as we bring you more interesting tutorials on 2 times a week, right? Twice a week, or even more than we're planning to make it more than twice a week, and it's going to be consistent. So I have the lining, the peplum stays ironed on it, and I have the main fabric, the stay is ironed on it, and I'm going to place them right side to right side, right side to right side, and I'm going to get my crinoline and sew on it. This crinoline is short. It's because I've used it for something before. I just want to use it for the tutorial. So when you're doing yours, kindly get a very good crinoline, not the soft one that doesn't have any strength. Use the one that has strength. Okay, so it's your choice. You can decide to double the crinoline, you can decide to make it single. In this case, I'm going to be sewing it single. I'm not going to double it, right? So after sewing, you can see the way it is. Now the next thing is to cover the armhole, so that because the sleeve is going to be cut short in one part, the underarm is going to be seen, and we don't want to see rough edges. So I'm going to be sewing lining to lining, fabric to fabric, right? Lining to lining, fabric to fabric. We put them together and sew it. Now the only thing that this peplum stay is going to do is that it will make your sleeve to be very stiff. Like, it will make it to be very stiff. As you can see, if you allow this to get into your armhole, it's going to make you uncomfortable. It's going to make you uncomfortable. So for me, I would prefer that I cut the peplum stay out towards the armhole area. I'll cut it out while still maintaining the other part, since it's on the lining and not on the main fabric. I'll just cut the parts that will be attached into the sleeve, because for me, I don't want anything that will make me uncomfortable. So for the tip, I'm going to either gather it or pleat it, right, to give it that puffy look. So it's either you gather it or you pleat it, depending on what you want, and sew it into your garment, right? Just the way it is. Sew it into your garment, and everything will be fine. So this sleeve is quite easy and simple to do. All you have to do is to practice it and see how it comes out. And of course, it came out so beautiful, right? So like I said before, you can remove this towards, like, cut 1 inch away round the armhole, round the shoulder line, the armhole line, so that it makes you comfortable. This is the outcome. Hope you love it. See you in our next video. Bye.